You're in the room, you say something, and nobody reacts. Then someone else says the exact same thing 5 minutes later. And everyone nods, everyone agrees, everyone listens. And you sit there thinking, I just said that. Or you share an idea, and people smile politely and move on. Or you set a boundary, and people push straight through it like it was never there. This is not about intelligence. This is not about talent. This is not about how hard you work. This is about something far more invisible, far more psychological, far more fixable. In the next few minutes, I am going to show you exactly why people don't take you seriously, and precisely what to do about it. Pay attention, because this one is personal. Here's the truth nobody will tell you. People don't take you seriously because you have trained them not to. Not intentionally, not consciously, but through 100 small signals sent every single day. You have taught the people around you exactly how much weight to give your words, your tone, your body language, the way you enter a room, the way you respond when challenged, the way you treat your own opinions. All of it, communicating one thing, how seriously you take yourself. Because here is the unbreakable rule. Nobody will take you more seriously than you take yourself. Nobody, ever, without exception. Reason one, and this one is everywhere. You over-explain and you over-apologize. Every time you say, sorry, this might be a bad idea, but I don't know if this makes sense. This is probably stupid, but you are not being humble. You are pre-rejecting yourself. You are walking into the room and handing people a reason to not take you seriously before they even had one. Watch what happens when you remove the apology. Weak. Sorry, I just think maybe we could possibly consider a different approach. Powerful. I think we need a different approach. Here's why. Same idea. Completely different weight. And over-explaining is the same trap. When you justify every decision, when you give 3 reasons nobody asked for, you signal insecurity. You signal, I need you to agree with me to feel okay. Confident people state. Insecure people explain. Say what you mean what you say, then stop talking. Reason 2. The one that works against you silently. Your body is saying something your mouth isn't. Research shows that 55% of communication is body language, 38% is tone of voice. Only 7% is the actual words, which means you could say the most brilliant thing in the world. And if your shoulders are caved in, if your eyes are down, if your voice trails off at the end of every sentence, nobody feels it. Here is what low credibility body language looks like. Shoulders forward, eyes avoiding, voice going up at the end like a question, fidgeting, shrinking, disappearing. Here is what high credibility body language looks like. Shoulders back, eye contact held, not stared, held. Voice going down at the end of statements. Still, calm, present. That downward inflection is everything. When your voice goes up at the end, you sound like you're asking for permission. When your voice goes down at the end, you sound like you're stating a fact. Same words, different person entirely. Your body is always talking. Make sure it's saying what you actually mean. Reason 3, the one that destroys credibility fastest. You disappear when challenged. Someone pushes back on your idea, and you fold immediately. Oh, yeah, you're right. Never mind. Sorry. Someone raises their voice, and you shrink. Someone looks unimpressed, and suddenly you're not so sure anymore. Here is what people are actually testing. Every single time they challenge you, do you actually believe what you're saying? Because if you collapse the moment there is resistance, the answer is clearly no, and people stop listening to people who don't even believe themselves. Mental toughness under pressure is credibility. You don't need to be aggressive, you don't need to win every argument, you just need to hold your ground with complete calm. That's it. I understand your point. I still think I'm right. Here's why. 6 words that build more respect than an hour of explaining. Pressure reveals character, and character is what people take seriously. Reason 4, the one that hurts to hear. You are too available and too agreeable. You respond instantly to every message. You say yes to every request. You never disappoint anyone. You make yourself small so everyone stays comfortable. And people call you nice, and people call you sweet, and people call you helpful. But they don't call you when they need real advice. They don't think of you when they need someone serious. They don't take your no seriously because you've never really said no. Here is the psychology. Scarcity creates value. Abundance destroys it. When you are always available, your presence has no weight. When you always agree, your agreement means nothing. When you never say no, your yes means nothing. This is not about being cold. This is not about being difficult. It's about having a self. That is distinct. That has preferences. That has limits. People take seriously the person who cannot be everything to everyone because that person clearly values something. And people who value something are always valued in return. Reason 5, the most silent credibility killer of all. You don't follow through. You say you'll do something, and you don't. You set a deadline for yourself, and you move it. You make a commitment, and you find a reason, and nobody says anything. People are polite. They smile. They understand. They forgive. But their brain recorded it. Every time you said you would and didn't, your credibility account lost something. And credibility accounts work exactly like bank accounts. Take out more than you put in, and eventually the account is empty. Seriously is not a feeling people give you. It is a conclusion they reach, based on evidence. And your track record is the evidence. The most respected people in any room are not the most talented. They are the most reliable. Do what you said, when you said, every time. That's it. That is the entire formula. Reliability is the foundation of all respect. So here's your next step. Not 5 things, not a challenge. 1 decision. Starting today, treat your own words like they are worth something. Because here is what nobody tells you. Seriousness is not given. It is commanded. Silently, consistently, daily. When you stop pre-apologizing, people stop dismissing you. When your body matches your words, people feel you before you speak. When you hold your ground under pressure, people think twice before they push. When you become selective, people notice when you show up. When you follow through every single time, people stop doubting before you even finish the sentence. None of this requires a personality transplant. None of this requires you to become someone you're not. It just requires one shift. Start taking yourself seriously. Not arrogantly, not loudly, not performatively, just quietly, deeply, completely. The world will follow. It always does. Nobody is born with authority. Nobody is born commanding respect. It is built in every word chosen carefully, in every boundary held quietly, in every promise kept, in every room entered like you belong there. You were never the problem. You just never knew you were allowed to take up space. Now you know. Take it.